What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, being the market one trade at a time. New to Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure that thumbs up. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos. All right, today I'll be giving the earnings recap. So there are three earnings that I want to talk about from this week. I hope everybody's having a great week. Was able to lock in some profits, so let's jump into it. All right, so the first one, that I'll talk about is Amazon. So Amazon had their earnings this week. They ended the week at $3,352.15. Then after hours went down $7.15 to end at $3,345 even. So basically on the chart, we can see they are bearish. Moving average 10 is below moving average 50. Even though it's above moving average 100, I would say it's still bearish. So if you're new to the channel, my indicators are if the moving average 10 is above 50 and 100, and if VWAP is above moving average 10, those are my two indicators for a stock being bullish. So both indicators are a miss on this one, but hopefully next week it can go back up. There are a lot of things going on with the company this week. There's a lot of press releases and just different moves and upper management going on that I'm going to talk about a little later. So, looking at the chart, we can see they did dip down after their earnings this week. And we can see that VWAP is also below moving average 10. So bear in mind this is from the 30-minute chart. So that's the chart that I like to use, the time variable, if I can say the word correctly, that I like to use. You could use the 15-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute, or whichever one you like. That's just the one that I like. This is also from the perspective of Webull. So if you like to sign up for Webull and get 4 free stocks when you deposit $100 or more, I have a link down below where you can do so. So going into the press release from Amazon, they had a very busy week. CEO Jeff Bezos is going to be transitioning out of the role of CEO to executive chair in quarter 3, and Andy Jassy will become the CEO of Amazon. So he was the CEO or the person over AWS, which is Amazon's web services. So he's not new to the company. He's just transitioning roles. So it was a pretty big move for the company overall. But I have a video where I talked about that earlier this week. For earnings, their operating cash flow increased 72% to 66.1 billion. The trailing 12 months compared to 38.5 billion for the trailing 12 months ended December 31st, 2019. So they had a tremendous increase, thanks in part to a very good Christmas, Black Friday, Cyber Monday year. So a lot of people bought things online. I think that was in transition to the pandemic. A lot of people buying things online instead of going to stores. But Amazon has just showed steady growth overall. I think the company is doing a fantastic job. So definitely, we're able to maximize profits this year. So that was good for them. Free cash flow increased to 31.0 billion for the trailing months. Compared with the 25.8 billion for the trailing 12 months ending December 31st, 2019. Free cash flow, less principal repayments or of finance, leasing and finance obligation increased to 20.3 billion for the trailing 12 months. So overall, the company did really well for the year. So for the fourth quarter, so just that one section, net sales increased 44% to 125.6 billion, which is actually more than what Apple had actually released. So Apple, I think just recently, for their earnings, said they went to 111.3 billion, and for their fourth quarter, and then for the fourth quarter of Amazon, they have 125.6 billion. So some really big numbers as far as revenue is concerned from some of these major companies, which just shows, that a lot of people are buying things and these companies are doing very well overall. So jumping to the next one, we have ticker sign PTON for Peloton. They also had their earnings this week. Looks like they fell down after their earnings, so they kind of rallied up to this 157.83 metric. They ended the week at 148.30. Then after hours went up 70 more cents to end at 149 even. They are bearish. Moving average 10 is below 50 and 100, and VWAP is below moving average 10. So they are bearish based on the time of this video. Now, depending on when you watch the video, this will change. This is also based on when the market is closed as well. So If the market opens up on Monday, they could potentially rally back up, and then they would have to test this moving average 50 and moving average 100 line, which moving average 50 is currently at 149.25, and moving average 100 is currently at 148 even. So they ended at 149, so they're already surpassing this moving average 100 line, and then moving average 50. We can see is 149.25, so they have a 25 cent more threshold to break through this to become bullish. So definitely going to keep an eye out on them when the market opens on Monday. Background on them, they did have earnings as well, so we're going to talk about briefly their earnings. So their quarter two ending connected fitness subscriptions grew 134% to approximately 1.67 million. And paid digital subscriptions grew 427% to approximately 625,000, and total members grew over 4.4 million. So a lot of good growth for this company overall. Total Q2 revenue grew 128% to 1,064.8 million. And then connected fitness subscriptions grew 303% to 98.1 million, averaging 21.1 monthly workouts per connected fitness subscription versus the 12.6 in the year ago period. So they've basically increased just about all their metrics, which I think is a very good metric for them overall. I think it's basically showing that a lot of people bought their products, and they've also listened to their customers. So I remember them talking about in the past that they had a partnership with Beyonce, who's a uh, R&B singer, and that was the one most requested artist for the platform. So they reached out to her and did a partnership with her, which I like when companies actually, take surveys of what people want and then, go out of their way to do that. That's a really good customer service basis. And then also just from hearing, I don't own a personal Peloton bike or product, but just hearing from how they deliver, it's a very professional way that they do so. So I think that they carry themselves with a high standard, which will definitely help the company overall and solidify the brand. And it seems like it's paying off quite a bit. Now, I do not know if there will continue to be a rise of people going to the home alternative for fitness or going back to gyms. We will have to see. The economy, in my opinion, is still 50-50. I think there's some people who are still going to public gyms, and there's some people who are, not taking the risk and just going to um, their home and, buying devices like these where they could stay at home and work out. But we will see. I'll have to do a side by side comparison one day between this and like a Planet Fitness and see what those numbers are, and then do an analysis of if more people are going to the gym opposed to working at home. But drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think more people are going to be staying at home to do fitness, or do you see more people gradually going back to uh, their public gyms to go and work out? And last on here, we'll talk about eBay, ticker sign EBAY. Now they did hit a high last week of $64.85. They ended the week at $62.23. Overall bullish though. Moving average 10 is above 50 and 100, but VWAP is below moving average 10. So unless this VWAP can cross the moving average 10 line, I think there's going to be some continued sideways momentum going on from them, and it'll probably be in between this range right here of 62.93 to this 61.7 this 60.24 level. So basically from this peak to this peak seems to be the range that it's oscillating between. So the 62.72 level and this 60.36 level. So definitely gonna be looking to see if VWAP can cross this threshold. Not too much movement after hours from them, but they did have earnings, so let's jump into that earnings. All right, so the revenue of the company was 2.9 billion, which was up 28% on both an as reported basis and FX neutral basis. Gross merchandise volume uh, of 26.6 billion, up 21% as an as reported basis, and up 18% on an FX neutral basis. So overall, I think they're doing okay as a company. They returned 529 million to shareholders in quarter four, including 419 million of share repurchases and 110 million paid in cash dividends. So they are a dividend stock. They do pay out dividends to shareholders. If you'd like to learn more about dividends, or do a crash course in dividends, learn how to build a dividend portfolio, I have a link down below where you can do so. I have a small course where you can sign up to do that. And it'll just teach you about dividends, build a dividend portfolio from the perspective of M1 Finance, because that's what I use for my dividend portfolio. But it's pretty comprehensive, so if you're interested in doing that, it's down below. But basically, the short-term dividend is where a company pays for you owning a share of a stock. So let's say you buy one share of a stock, and then the company pays out a certain amount that the board of directors, as well as other um, people in upper management, vote on to see how much they pay out. So they pay out a certain amount. So on here it says the board of directors declared a quarterly dividend of 18 cents per share. So essentially, you'll buy one share at $62.23, and then you'll get 18 cents per share. So it's not, um, you know, a large amount of money, but it can definitely build in time, depending on how many shares you have. So that compounding interest on the amount of shares, as well as the amount of money that you get, can definitely add up over time. So, I think that's good that companies still give out a dividend. It definitely, is reassuring, and a great way to build some passive income, because literally you just get the money from holding the stock. So, definitely a great way to build a small account to a large account by just doing dividends. But it is a slower method of trading than just doing options or something like that. Well, these are the different stocks for the earnings recap: Amazon, Peloton, and eBay. I will be doing a one for next week's earnings that come out. I know we have some that are going to be coming out, like GM's got a earnings, Hasbro, Twitter, Uber, Lyft, um, 2U, Corsair. So a lot of different companies have earnings for next week. I'm going to be doing an earnings recap on that one. Make sure you hit a thumbs up if this video helped you, if you're able to lock in some profits, and drop a comment down below telling me which stocks you guys are looking at for next week. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.